I'll tell you one thing about this man that's speaking to me. He's dressed very nicely. This man is giving me his name. Gino? Gino is, who's Gino?
Gino is Dominic's father.
Now, this is the area that you experienced Gino.
Yes, right, well, right over there.
He said to me, he'll never forget the look on your face. He said that you came back into the room as if you saw a ghost, literally. Like you were white.
Yeah, well, I was coming this way, and I saw a gentleman coming down these steps, going up. And he went, that's how I heard it. I heard, and I turned, and I saw this gentleman, and then he walked up the steps to the catering.
Right.
And I said, you can't go up there, it's locked. And he was going out that way, which didn't make any sense. And I said, you can't go out that way. And he said, it's okay.
I see him with very, very shiny shoes.
Yes, his shoes were like, bam, bam, sparkling. And then I said, oh. And I went back in there and I go, Dominic, some guys just walked up the catering steps, and then he came out, and then we both went up there and we couldn't find him. And then I told him, he goes, well, what did he look like? And I said he kept clearing his throat, and he had his shoes were shining, and he started tearing up. And then Dominic brought me in, and he brought me into the office, and he opened the office door, and he goes, was that the man you saw? And I looked up and showed me a picture, and I said, that's him. And he goes, that was my father. And he goes, my father's been here, and other people have seen him here. Now you saw him here. And he says, the reason why I asked you to stay is because this is the last gathering that we could have, because I want to sell the place, and I got a great deal, and I'm going to do it. And then we figured maybe his father said, tell him that it's okay. He didn't say tell him, he just said it's okay. And he said, that was my dad.
For you, Dominic, your father was trying to give you a message. This is what he tells me, for a long time. I'm going to say at least 2 years before you actually made a final decision.
Absolutely.
Okay? You're too emotionally attached to your father. You can't stay objective in the decision-making. Emotionally, it blocks you. It blocks you from making guiltless choices. He keeps saying, there's nothing to be guilty of. My dream did not need to be your dream.
The truth of the matter is, when I did finally, after years, it did take a while for me to come to this realization that it was, you know, my time here was done. I had to go to the cemetery and talk to my dad, and I get very emotional till today. Even now, I mean, I get a little, and I shouldn't say a little, I can't talk, and he knows. And I'm sure that has a lot to do why Chazz received the message.
It's those very emotions that are actually coming to the surface right now that keeps you from hearing him. The best way that he got to you, Chazz, was off guard, when you weren't expecting it. And so he was kind of here that whole night, as he is today. I can't tell you how grateful he is. I can actually feel his emotions, because he said that from that point on, when he gave you that message, your life has never been the same. You have been able to breathe.
Absolutely.
You have been able to sleep at night, because he's still watching over you.
Absolutely. Just
by you telling him your father said it was okay, it gave Dominic the green light to go on with his life.
That day was such an emotional, excuse me, such an emotional experience for me. For that to actually happen here, and I made this decision, and it just was, it was very emotional for me to go through this whole thing.
You guys have a lot of connections. There's a
Yeah.
lot of intertwining going on.
Yeah.
This is probably a friendship that started a long time ago, but will last, and there will, because the same values, a lot of the same morals, values, family values. Chazz, you have the gift. That's why Gino appeared to you so strongly. You were the only man there that night that could deliver that message.
Yeah.
There's something about your energy that is wide open. Do you guys have any questions?
Well, now
Yeah,
we know
got-
that the person that I saw, after what he told me, and then we assumed that was him, but now you're just...
That's him.
You're just validating and
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
He was desperate in any way to get through to you. I kind of feel like for you, you were the clearer channel. Like I said, there were other people that he could only get through to in a dream. He said he's tried to come through to your dream. You're blocked.
You want to know something, and this I feel is why you came into my life, is when my dad passed away 28 years ago. I was at the funeral parlor, and right before they covered my dad, they closed the coffin. I made a promise to him, and I says to Dad, I says, I'll never let anyone forget you. And that was my promise to my father. And they closed the coffin. It was very emotional. And only until now do I feel that that's the reason that you came into my life, because a TV show like this immortalized my dad.
Yes.
And
a big star like this.
and absolutely. And I said, because when we met, Chazz, we met right after my dad passed away.
Yeah.
It was like 26 years ago.
And little did you know
where the relationship was going to go.
Right.
And for that, I want to thank you.
Oh.
Because, I mean, I could have never fulfilled my promise if I never, you know, met a guy like Chazz.
Because here we are all these years later, and we're having a conversation with your dad.
We're still here. And look at this, it's still the same.
Yeah,
I mean,
Right?
upstairs is different, but downstairs, it's 28 years ago.
So
I mean, could we call it a quits?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Could you tell them, please?
The chapter's done. The last page.
there you go. You don't know why people come into your life. It could be to help fulfill a promise to someone else, to yourself, or just for the other benefits. I'm sure this is there's multi-benefits to this friendship.
Yeah, well, we
multitude of
always, I mean,
benefits.
even though we didn't actually grow up together,
Right.
we always had a great connection, Dominic and I.
Yeah.
We became great friends.
I'm telling you, there's that
Yeah.
commonality, that link of similar backgrounds. So not only did he help you fulfill the promise, he helped your dad get the message to you from him. So you're really kind of acting like a medium yourself.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
validating
much.
all the things that we talked about.
Thank you.
Chazz.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm happy that
Thank you.
you were able to hear
Thank
from
you
your
very
dad again today.
It was very emotional for me to come back here after almost 8 years. It was really interesting talking to Kim, and she just validated everything that I saw and everything that I felt. I know that certain people can't say these things or feel these things and make them up. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. So what is it? It's not a magic trick. I'm not doing something that making people disappear or doing something with a deck of cards. I'm saying things that only I would know. I'm a big believer in the spiritual world, and I'll always be. It's okay. Don't be afraid of it. You know what they say, the best way to chase the things that haunt you in the night is to stop and turn around. Just face them.